I thought it was a sin. He just creates them.
Yeah.
He also creates killers and robbers and everything else.
Yeah.
That's all
the children.
That's
so
all
that means
the
he loves gay
free
people.
will.
Every individual.
That's why the book, you can't go to the
God's
book.
plan, but also free will, but also God's plan.
I feel like it'll be easy to judge this off,
God doesn't
Yeah,
tempt
but
you, but he will
free
give you
will
tests.
part of God's plan.
Free
So
will
wouldn't that
can't
make
exist
God
under an
everything?
all-knowing God, and it can't exist under a materialistic worldview.
Hold up.
Even though evil can't exist in God's presence, he's omniscient and omnipotent and everywhere. So yeah.
Well, hold up. So, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're high,
Well,
dude. He's definitely high.
Like, we work under a logic system that was created by an all-knowing God. God knows, like, every position that a particle will be in and its interactions with each other that makes up everything in the observable universe, right? And if we cannot stray or differ from God's omniscience, then we cannot
have
free will. And under a materialistic worldview, it's the same thing. Like, we are under the laws of physics. We do not have any agency over how particles interact with each other.
Hold up. So if God gave us free will, if God gave us free will, and we use our free will to do whatever, wouldn't that also be a part of God's plan because He gave it to us?
Well, we have free will under God's plan, then. Like, free will is just...
Yeah, I got in a car crash and I barely survived.
Free will is just
thank
like
God that
insert idea. Free will is just this insert theologic idea about us not knowing what we're going to do. But God knows.
So everything that happens to you has been planned out?
Yeah.
So if you get cancer, that's all a part of God's plan, and
it would be.
He decides you deserve that.
It would be, yeah.
What happens to you in life doesn't matter anyway. You're gonna die regardless. You were never gonna make it through this.
Isn't this a test? Under your God?
Yeah, but you were never gonna make it out.
How is it a test?
It only matters to get to the other side.
Why is it necessary? I go through life to end up where I need to be.
No, you go through life to end up where you have to
Argue
be.
it.
Because of
and
God's
I feel like
plan.
I feel like we created this idea that there's like a reason, a purpose. I feel like your energy just transfers.
There isn't one.
I don't think there's any true merit to the argument because there isn't anything inherently that's supposed to be happening.
So I
feel like we made this up. God didn't say anything to anybody.
Why have it?
Yeah.
Why be apologetic about it?
God said that.
No one's apologetic about it. We all created this narrative. God hasn't said a word to anyone.
There's the word.
God's not real.
There's a
disregard
word.
the word of the Bible.
Yes, I don't think that's. I think it's all ridiculous, but it is just. It's the only thing that.
Have you sinned? Have you sinned recently? What was your recent sin?
It's not true. That's.
When was the last time you sinned about something?
What repent for sin? What do you mean?
Have you sinned recently?
I'm not talking about sin. What?
If hell and heaven do exist,
I don't believe in sin.
No
because
one's
I don't
making
believe in
it
right
to
and
heaven.
wrong.
Goodbye.
What?
You sin against God.
You're trolling under the influence of something.
Your free will. It doesn't matter if you sin because if you just repent, it's fine.
What?
Well, that makes absolutely no sense.
Is someone talking? Is talking? Is someone right here talking?
Yes.
Hazar is right there.
Hazar. Oh, Hazar. Didn't see them. Because I had them blocked or unblocked.
What do you mean?
Dribble.
Well, so if a man kills, let's say, 8 people and rapes a girl and then repents, he's okay. Everything he did, forgiven.
That is supposedly according to the Bible. That's how that works. But I don't believe in that.
It will work because you meet death.
No, that's not according to the Bible either. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't believe that there is gonna be like a good and bad place for people to go.
I love you.
You almost got a laugh out of me.
How do you guys float in the air like that?
Don't worry about it, man.
You
need to believe in Jesus.
It's called being majestic.
Right. Believe in Jesus.
You're
But either way,
the family in the background.
But don't them advocating for evil.
Stop talking
You're not
over each other.
advocating for anything.
You're blind about
Where's Carrera?
the life in
You're cutting out
Talking
so
over people.
hard.
Unless you're like actually talking about the discussion.
Peter was blind about you. You're
Okay,
blind
you're getting
too,
kicked.
just like Peter.
I just debate what this is.
On the game.
Yeah, you're right. You're
The
right.
Father, Son, the Holy Spirit.
This guy said
Jesus Christ.
What's happening with this big screen people?
Jesus,
I mean,
Jesus.
every other room as Jesus, every other room as hateful for Islam. I'm
on
like,
music.
what the hell?
This is a
Karaoke.
What kind of room are you
looking?
looking for, Don Don?
Pardon?
What kind of room are you looking for?
Something like intellectual, like, something like that. But no, there is a group I came in from. You're how to go to
You guys are
heaven?
gangsters.
What the hell is that room? Have you
I'm
been to
that
that
guy.
room?
You look like a gangster.
Never.
I'm that guy. Unless you're actually here to debate, then just leave.
Nah,
You
bro.
can't
I am.
debate.
I am. I'm
think.
just waiting.
Okay, well,
Very
don't be
object-
rude to random people for no reason.
How am I being rude?
What kind of discussion are you trying to have, Don Don?
Like any
we've gone
intellectual
through
or
multiple
provoking
topics.
philosophical or
Gangster,
anything.
gangster.
Like, yes.
I'm sorry.
Well, they were just talking a moment
Yes,
ago.
I mean, like,
yeah.
why did, okay, I will come to the Christianity realm itself.
Terraforming on Mars.
No, not like that. You guys are talking about philosophy, so we'll come to the philosophy in your Jesus universe.
If
So,
we
like,
can
why
terraform-
God has to send a male figure? Why not the female figure?
That's just
No,
how
if
it went down.
Transgenders, they're going to hell.
The whole Adam and Eve
Hazar, I
thing
keep
just
Why
doesn't
the God
make
didn't?
sense.
Why the God didn't send any daughter of the God?
Because
Son
there is no
only
daughter
son.
of God.
chill. So
Chicks
He
with
only
dicks,
needed
they're
to
going...
do it once.
Well, because back
Chicks
then
with dicks, they're
everyone
going
was
to hell.
super sexist.
I'm muting
yeah,
this dude.
he's right.
Pardon? So have you ever questioned Christianity like this, like philosophically, like why
So chill.
we
Oh,
have to see
absolutely.
only
To
the
yell at
son?
people, or are you here to like?
Why not the daughters of the Christianity? Like,
Well,
That's
Don
why
Don,
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
modern
modern
rhetoric is making this
What'd you say?
conversation hard to have.
huh?
I don't feel
Don
like
Don.
this was.
Because we aren't the
What?
human.
Don Don Don.
Why do we call
and
why do we
Come
call
over here.
in Christian universe? Why do we
Are
call
you
as
here
a
to
father? Why
yell
can't
at
we say
everybody and
mother?
call them supporters again?
Because he's not a mother?
I mean,
So chill. Like you do
but
this
why
every
would
day.
you? What's the difference? What difference would it make if it
So
wasn't?
chill. Why
It
is your
makes
name-
difference.
oh.
It makes difference. Like
If it
so
was
you're
a woman,
associating
If it was
God
a
in a
woman, they
green
still would have
people for no reason.
crucified her.
No,
If
like
no, if it was
it's
a
not about
woman,
crucifying
people
or
would
anything
be
like that.
complaining that it wasn't
If you
a
say
man.
as a father, it's
Oh
a
my goodness.
masculine thing. Why can't the same thing goes to the feminine? Why can't the God can be a feminine energy?
God God doesn't have
God is
a
a bad bitch
gender.
like that.
Then why do we call as a father? We can call something else.
Then
What
I
As
think
opposed to the
we
father,
forgot
we
what
call it the mother.
condescension
mother, yeah.
language is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with. if
Isn't that
God was mother,
condescension
I wouldn't
language?
have a problem with
Father,
that.
because
Yes,
that's how we
see,
understand.
This is one thing.
Well, you
the
would.
universe
It's
will
also
accept
how
it.
he chooses to
So-
reveal
But
himself to
so
us.
I don't see
Yeah.
God as a being.
The
Okay.
So now a God without any form or anything.
Male is because of the patriarchy.
Yes, sir. So now
Patriarchy.
why can't we have daughter of the God? Like Jesus, we have.
Because there is no
something
such thing as a daughter of God.
So what would stop them from crucifying the daughter of God?
No, have you
Nothing.
ever seen any
The story doesn't change.
female crucified? Have you ever seen any female crucified or any
You
heard
think they
about
would
it?
have
They were
gave
stoned,
female Jesus a pass?
burned.
Back in
You
No,
observe?
because women-
Have you heard any
Don Don.
female crucified in Roman Empire?
Don
No,
Don.
not that I've
Don
heard
Don.
of.
Yes, that's where the
No,
male
Don Don.
father
yeah,
and then
I
thing
get
up.
crucified.
When they
when I
start-
No idea what he's
do
trying.
the
I don't think
story
he's
writing?
philosophical.
Yeah.
This is such.
So
This is
women,
too basic
women
of an
back
argument.
then were stoned and burned alive at the stake. They weren't crucified.
So female
Thank the
Jesus
Lord.
Female is
survives
to burn alive?
basically because she's a female.
Female, if Jesus was a woman, she would have been stoned or burned at the stakes.
There you go. So why didn't say wait, Obja is the host.
Ubja.
So in the Roman,
well.
so the main reason of the Jesus coming into existence was the oppression of the Jews, and then some other stuff what is happening in the Roman Empire. The God wants to put an end, so he sent a son. But more than men, the female were getting objectified by throwing the stone at them, defaming and dehumanizing them. Then the God should send the daughter of the thing. God.
There is no daughter of God. There's no daughter of God.
The woman, burning of the woman.
Man.
There's no such thing as daughter of God.
You should understand why there is only male God, male deity, or in the Christianity. In the Christianity, why there is a dehumanization of the female in the Roman Empire?
Do
Catholics not pray to Mother Mary in the woman in Christianity?
Women were crucified in ancient Rome.
They were crucified?
Yeah.
If Jesus was a woman, they would have crucified her too.
Yes, but there is no story of the woman. Like, have you ever?
Hold on. What's that?
To her at all.
Yes, that's the thing. That is the thing. So your Christianity universe is as good as Spider-Man was.
They didn't listen to
Jessica
Jesus
Denton.
because he was a man. If Jesus was real, they didn't listen to him because he was a man. They listened to him because he performed miracles.
Yeah, but
no,
if
because he was a
woman,
man.
They wouldn't have
Because he
listened to him
performed
at all.
miracles.
If a woman
even women,
the same
even
miracles,
performed
they
the
would have been
miracle.
called a witch and
Yeah,
killed.
they would have
burn them alive
sooner.
No way.
So in that premise, the Christianity universe,
Everybody
the
was
Christianity
sexist
universe,
back then.
Christianity universe is as good
you
as
think they would
Spider-Man
have been
today.
sexist to the miracle performing woman?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, they would have
absolutely.
been.
They would have called her
they
a
call
witch.
us witch.
People.
They killed Jesus too, though. They never gave
Yeah,
Jesus a
they're gonna
chance.
kill the witch. You know, God sent so many people like Jesus Christ, and they called witch, and they killed anybody.
I think
I would say go open a room, man, because this is
Yeah.
So in your Christianity universe, it's a
I'll join.
hoax.
Sounds good.
It's completely a hoax.
As a woman instead. Well, then people just ask, why not a man instead of a woman?
Yes,
That's what I
exactly.
was saying.
Why not both? Why not both? That's the thing.
God that's all I gotta say.
That's the
You
thing.
would
That's the
question
point I'm
God?
making. Why not
Wait,
both?
where the hell did you get that?
So God
actually had
Yeah.
a wife.
Why not both?
Wait, Jessica,
all the way
Jessica.
through the first temple, all the way through the first temple period, God had a wife. Her name was Ashera, and there were Ashera poles in the temple.
Prove you
Wait,
wrong.
There you
what
go.
verse?
There
What
you
verse
go.
says that God has a wife?
And if you have any doubt about this, you can
Go,
I
go,
can,
go.
I can show you the
I'll
evidence.
prove
for
you
this.
No,
if
Jessica.
God
What verse
doesn't
says God
have
has
a
a wife,
body,
Jessica?
but
So,
a voice with the ineffable. A
she
woman
had-
or a man
I can
can
show
do
you
anything
things that
but
predate
sound
the
like
Bible.
either.
Give me the
that
verse.
show you.
There you go. You would be
I'm
scared
going to-
shit.
It's not. It's
Oh, it's
actually
this
pretty
kid again, the
biblical.
Indian kid.
Oh, so it's
you
not
look
in the
at
Bible. So it's
inscriptions,
not in the
you
Bible.
again.
Look at dribble. You're going to interrupt me.
Remember
You're
you
gonna
and
let me
you're
answer
the
your
other
question.
god one.
Do you want to hear the answer? The
You're like,
reason we
nope,
know
nope,
this is
nope,
because we have
nope, I don't believe in
archaeological
that.
evidence in the West
Bias.
Bank and
You know what I mean?
throughout Samaria that there are
Where's
inscriptions
Ubja?
that show a picture of God and his wife, and the inscription on it is written, it's Yahweh and his Samaria.
So
In
you're
addition to
saying
that,
God has a
in,
physical
in,
form?
in addition to
No,
that,
God
No,
does not
there
have
was
a
also
physical
inscriptions
form.
on tombs
If-
that
if
Wait, let him
God-
finish.
Theories, you
Let
don't
Josh
talk
finish.
about.
Yeah,
And
I
Wait,
like
wait.
Massachusetts whenever I get
How
home
do you
from
not
work.
know
I'm
that
listening
is?
to
How do you not know that is
Bias. Do you
done
remember
by
me?
By the way, there
non-believers?
is
Remember me?
dribble. There
I
actually
don't.
is references to Ashera in the Bible. It's
But maybe
referred
it's
to
been
That's not my
Ashera.
question. My question is, how do you know
So
it's
is
the
this
Jews or the, not the
Sumerian
Jews?
text that
Who
you're
did
talking
this?
about?
It predates
You guys
Jesus,
start
or predates the Bible, and it
Was
says
this?
Yahweh.
Are you talking about Sumerian text? Because I have.
No, I'm
I
talking
know a
about
little bit.
Cantilia root. You can look up the inscriptions in Cantilia root and Pithos.
So
A.
is this some form of book or
Pithos
like?
A? No. This is
It
these are
predates Moses,
actual
but
like
has the name Yahweh.
inscription
Pretty interesting.
on
stone.
pottery. On pottery. Like you
Yeah.
can see that, right? So
That's
Like
not-
hieroglyphics
look at
almost.
Pithos A. If you Google Pithos A, just Google Pithos A. You guys, everybody
let
here
me do
can
that.
Google this and see it. It's
I
an
do have a
archaeological
quick
find.
question.
Pithos.
I think it's dated to the 8th or 9th century. So
Quick
this
question.
predates any
Quick
biblical
question.
text we have.
Deli that
Way
sells
older.
meat at my
Wait,
Question,
wait.
question.
Say that again. Say that again. When was it?
Pithos A.
When was it?
I have a
Pithos
question.
From when?
Pithos.
I think it's dated to either the 8th or 9th century BCE. So it's
You do know
before
historically that David was writing way before that, right?
Let him
He'd be
answer-
writing
ask
around
his
1000
question,
BC,
man.
Moses
Dribble.
1500 BC.
Dribble.
So that's not true then.
So dribble.
God is
I can
real.
answer all your questions. There's too many idiots here. Here, come over here. Everything you're saying, dribble. So no, the oldest actual fragmentary text we have is the National.
You don't believe in
I
God,
mean,
right?
debate, yeah.
No, that wasn't me. That was. Wait, is that a gumball right
I will take you up on the Pithos note. I'm going to research that.
Yeah, just look it up.
Who wants free pizza Pringles?
If you want to know more about this, so Ashara it's thought by a lot of biblical scholars that was Astarte in the Canaanite pantheon. That they were like the name. There was like a transformation of the name. Astarte was El's wife in the Canaanite pantheon.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting.
As in Israel, which is the god of Israel, right, was also the head god in the Canaanite pantheon. And the Canaanites were the people who filtered down to Judea and Samaria.
So here's what I'm getting.
They know that from archaeological records.
Yeah.
What I got here is it's saying even grammatically it can't even be
So
about a wife or another being.
So all of these
for example,
other,
right here.
the other stories you hear about.
So this is
the origination of Samaria and
the
stuff like that, and the greater beings.
But chill, rude. Whatever. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vicious.
Can you just block whoever? Like, so we don't.
They're so loud.
Just start blocking.
Because you just told me
so
something
basically,
really. This you called it the what pantheon?
Kuntalet Adjud Pithol.
The Canaanite.
Yahweh
Canaanite.
and his Asherah is what it
Canaanite.
says. Basically,
Okay,
I
the
bless
screaming
you
I
by
can't
Yahweh
do.
of Samaria and by his Asherah. And the central problem would be his Asherah part. This is where it gets linguistically interesting. I'm reading Claude, by the way. This is where
don't learn your biblical scholarship from Claude.
This is where
and look
it
at your
gets
primary
linguistically
sources.
interesting.
Dribble.
In standard West Semitic grammar, a proper. I'm trying to read, dude. I'm trying to read, Jessica. This is where it gets linguistically interesting. And I just asked what is it, and it explaining what the scholarship is. This guy's crazy, dude.
Yep.
I don't want to read the scholarship. No, don't read it. Oh my gosh.
Man, people don't trust. Whenever the source disagrees, don't trust Wikipedia, don't trust Google, don't trust Claude, only trust my sources.
Yeah, so basically, this is where it gets linguistically interesting. In standard West Semitic grammar, a proper noun cannot take a pronominal suffix. You can't say his Baal or his El. Proper names don't work that way. So grammatically, Asherah here may not be the goddess Asherah, proper name, but rather the common noun Asherah, meaning a wooden pole or a sacred tree associated with Yahweh's worship. This is the majority scholarly position among conservative interpreters. The inscription generated massive scholarly debate, particularly around the recurring formula by Yahweh and by his Asherah, with contested grammatical interpretations. The three interpreted positions are heterodox popular religion, most likely. These inscriptions reflect syncretistic folk religion. Israelites at a border outpost blending Yahweh worship with Canaanite religious conventions. The biblical prophets Elijah, Hosea, and Jeremiah spent enormous energy condemning exactly this. And I was trying to tell him, how do you not know these are Israelites who have fallen away? Just because it's saying the word Yahweh doesn't mean anything. And then the second interpretation also disagrees that it's a god, not a goddess. Asherah equals a cult object, not goddess. The Bible does not explicitly refer to Asherah as Yahweh's wife, and the grammatical argument proper nouns can't take suffixes supports reading Asherah as a sacred wooden object associated with Yahweh's sanctuary and not a divine consort. And the other third interpretation is that it is a goddess. Pre-monotheistic Israelite religion included a goddess. Some scholars, Dever, Olian, argued these inscriptions reveal that official or semi-official Israelite religion in the 9th to 8th centuries was not yet strictly monotheistic, and that Yahweh had a genuine consort in some cultic context. So, this is nothing, really. Some stone says Yahweh and by his Asherah. The grammar doesn't even make sense for it to be a actual, goddess. Second, how do you not know this is the fallen away people of Israel, the same ones who were going and making the golden calf? How do you not know these are not Israelites, not ones who believe in Yahweh? They're mocking Yahweh. How do you not know? Like Jessica
What
didn't
year-
respond to any of this.
What year did it say it was written? Or
Like 8th, 9th
8th
century, and
century.
that doesn't even predate David. That doesn't even predate the
pretty
Psalms,
late.
let alone predating the Bible.
Yeah.
The Psalms predate this. So I don't know what Jessica's saying. The Psalms predate this.
It's not even a verse.
Yeah, I know. She was like, biblically, that God has a wife. And I'm like, where the hell does it say God has a wife? And she's like, oh, it's in a stone from somewhere else in the West Bank. And I'm like, bro, that's not the Bible.
Yeah,
It seems like just...
looking at, apparently there are 3 major interpretations. One is
Yeah.
Asherah as a goddess, one is Asherah as a cult object, and then the third is the inscription is being misunderstood.
But Jessica also lied. He also claimed most scholars, even biblical scholars, actually consensus, like they all come to the consensus. It
he
is
said
God's
that
wife.
there's
Where the
no
hell does it say
debate
that?
among this. It's crazy because literally every time I look it up, it says that this is controversial. He said that this is literally not controversial.
That's what he said. This is not controversial. Every biblical scholar accepts this. I'm like, bro, come on. Nobody does this.
Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder, because what I'm thinking or wanting to ask, because I asked Chat the same thing, and it's kind of giving me the similar. Right, it says the Old Testament repeatedly presents Israel as being tempted to worship other gods alongside Yahweh. The existence of inscriptions linking Yahweh and Asherah is therefore not surprising and would fit precisely the kind of syncretism condemned by the prophets such as Elijah, Jeremiah, and Hosea. But what I want to see is because how far back do the writings go?
How far
in
back?
Scripture?
The scriptures. I mean, even Genesis would be
first written?
going back to like the 1500 BC.
Okay.
Like
Because
that's what I'm saying. He's claiming it's before predating the entire Bible. It predates the Bible where you get Yahweh. It's using the name Yahweh. Like, second, Moses predates this. Even
'Cause I wanna
David predates this.
I want to ask what scriptures are dated around the same age.
The Egyptian ones.
What scriptures? What Bible scriptures?
The Habibi ones.
Are dated around that.
We got quite a few.
Inscription.
We got Jonah,
Exactly.
Amos, Hosea, Isaiah, Micah.
Isaiah? That's my nephew's
This is
name.
the strongest
Or
biblical
I mean my
parallels are actually
cousin's
the
name.
prophetic books that condemn exactly this sort of syncretism.
Predates or dates near
Hosea, she
or
went after her lovers and forgot
exact
about me, declares Yahweh.
to this inscription.
Amos, seek me and live. Isaiah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. Carved images shall be beaten to pieces. And Micah.
Yeah, he just
So the
lied again
very-
too. We have Amos, we have Hosea, we have Isaiah. We have these are either exactly around the time this inscription happened. So he's also lying that it predates the Bible. Like
Hypothetically,
Well, but
would
that's
have blah
interesting.
blah
I
blah
mean,
humped blah blah blah
the
and they
very
made out blah
texts
blah blah
here
baby.
are condemning the syncretism that would exist in that jar. I think that's what it was. I think it was an inscription
How
on
to
a jar.
prove?
Yeah.
All right. In today's
But
video,
why-
we're
But why
in today's
would, why
video
would he
we're
double down
proving
and say,
this nigga
well,
wrong. That
you know,
God is
this
fucking
says
real.
this, therefore God had a wife? Like,
No, he's not.
Well, I
That
feel
just
like
seems
he
like
has
such
a
a leap.
certain
Shut the fuck-
hate.
Who
against
created the
God.
world?
the God of the
nothing.
Bible, right?
Yeah.
No. Who created
Like
Asherah?
if there's
Islam,
anything,
yes.
Asherah is
Adam and Eve ain't
a
real,
woman in the
though,
Bible. Blah
Nigga,
blah blah.
yeah, they
Oh,
died, you
bless you
stupid
by
bitch.
Yahweh has Asherah. This has to be
Yeah,
God having a
you
wife,
don't
and
even
the
know if
Israelites
he's
were
real.
not monotheistic.
Bro, y'all
and
ain't even
Christians don't
arguing.
believe
Those
in
Y'all just
motherfuckers
talking,
that
bro.
he's real.
And you just
Y'all ain't even
No,
arguing.
those
man.
motherfuckers just talking. And they're
Oh, I got
talking
you.
about some
talking, bro.
Isaiah, blah blah
I
blah.
got corn turned
You
down.
know,
Yeah.
they're actually having.
Oh, devout Kafir, how you doing? Let me ask Jessica, cause I don't know what he's monologuing over there.
Is an Israel?
Jessica.
That's a different God from Yahweh. Yahweh was worshipped in the southern kingdom of Judah. Okay, it wasn't a problem to them. It was only a problem until the time of King Josiah, where you had the Deuteronomistic period and the discovery of the Deuteronomy scroll in the temple, and there was a push to unify the doctrine and to prohibit the veneration of Asherah. If you want sources on this, I can give them to you. It's all there. Sure, I just told you one. Francesco Stavrokolopoulos' book, God and Anatomy. You can start there. I can give you a couple others.
Seems like Jessica, you claimed a lot of things that were not coming out to be true.
So, Dribble, if you're going to engage with me and you're going to use like ChatGPT as your source, we're dealing in completely different like.
I didn't use
levels
ChatGPT
here.
in second. Do you reject the fact that ChatGPT, Claude, or any AI can now use its web search to get scholarly consensus, to get scholarly
So,
explanations?
Dribble, I'll tell you what. I'll give you sources. I'll give you primary sources. Okay.
Jessica,
Are you going to give me primary
you
sources?
can give me sources. I don't care. That doesn't change the
I don't
fact.
care. So you don't. So why are you here to talk to me?
I'm saying that doesn't
So
change
why are
the
you here to
fact.
talk to me? Then don't talk to me if you're not going to
claiming
engage.
AI is not a good source?
Dribble. What I'm telling you is that it's if you're going to come here. Hang on a second. If you're going to come here and you're going to make claims that something is not a consensus view, and you're just doing it by searching ChatGPT,
it's not a
this is a
consensus view.
joke. Okay. I know you keep asserting the same thing over and over again. I'm going to give you some sources.
I have a question,
okay?
Jessica. If
And then
Claude
you can
agreed
tell
with
me
you,
where they-
what would you be telling me right now?
Talking about Jesus.
See,
Again,
Claude is
I'm
Claude
going
is
to give
telling
you-
you that
My
it
Okay.
agrees with me. That's what you're gonna do.
Dude, listen to me. If you're not going to engage in primary sources on this kind of stuff, there's no point in this conversation.
Okay.
You didn't even
What are
know
your
what I was
primary
talking about
sources?
before I even
What are your
heard.
primary sources?
You didn't even
You said
know.
biblical
Well,
scholars
number one,
accept this that God has a wife. What biblical scholar? What consensus? Majority of
excuse
biblical
me.
scholars do.
I
'Cause you claim
told you a good place to start with this is I can give you go look up Francesco Stavrokolapos and see what her pedigree is.
Me neither.
And see where she teaches and what her background is and where she publishes and all the
I'm
societies
not
she's a
I'm saying,
member of.
where did
And
you?
then you could check that. So Dribble,
That's not my
before you
question.
say
I
sure
just
but
don't-
go
That's not
check
my
it,
question.
Okay.
Yet, so
What was
stop.
her
Oh, I
name?
know. So
Francesca
I can give you.
Staphylococcus?
Francesco
no, shut up.
Stavrokolapos. So if I could give you, 10 different names, will it matter?
Well,
It won't matter.
how many
because
scholars?
you're
How many
already-
biblical
you're
scholars
already
exist?
based.
How many biblical scholars
what I am
exist?
Dribble. There are thousands of
Okay,
them.
and
The SBL has about 6,000 to 7,000 members
okay,
currently.
so
So
you told
so
me
Dribble.
that
So
the
Dribble,
majority,
Dribble,
if not all, biblical
Dribble,
scholars accept
Dribble.
this
I
fact
did not
God
say
has a
all.
wife.
I did not say. I said this is not controversial. That the early.
Exactly, this is
I
not
got-
controversial.
I got it.
Majority of biblical scholars accept this fact, is what you said.
Listen, Dribble. What I'm saying is the early Hebrews were henotheist. They worshipped multiple gods. Okay, and then what happened was there was a progression in time from about the 10th century BCE all the way up to until about Deutero-Isaiah, where you had them in exile, where there was an effort to change the doctrine and the theology, because there was a big crisis that they had because they were no longer in the land of Israel and they were outside of the soil, and they were like, how can this be? And they had a huge theological shift. Also, during the time of King Josiah, he made changes in the law in regards to what can be worshipped. He poo-pooed all the notions of like veneration of Asherah. And he's like, we can't do that anymore, because he wanted to centralize at the one temple. There were multiple temples before that.
That's basically
and so
that.
do you know what
I
Asherah
don't know
poles
how
is?
this agrees with you. All
Do
you're
you-
doing
do you
is
know what
showing
an
me these are
Dribble,
a group of Hebrews that
Dribble.
strayed away from the faith. All you've shown me is that.
Dribble. There's no evidence that there was no evidence that there was ever a prohibition against Asherah worship until the time of King Josiah. Google that. Google, was there any evidence of prohibition of Asherah worship prior to King Josiah? Put that in your AI and see what it comes up with.
What's that supposed to? What's that supposed to?
I have
prove?
a question. If I
You don't understand? Wait. You don't understand what I just said.
my
Can you
God.
Like I
repeat
said,
it?
even if you do, all you're showing me is a group of Hebrews strayed away from the faith.
No. Dribble. It's not a matter. Dribble. It's not a matter of a group of people. It's a matter of what evidence we have
Yeah,
of
no
the
wonder
beliefs
why you
at
guys
different
are fucked.
times.
Wait,
And
so,
what evidence?
so you're
in
claiming
support.
that the majority belief passed down by the, you may not accept them as prophets, but they would be titled as prophets, was henotheistic and not monotheistic?
No, prophets? What are you
if
talking
the prophets
about?
taught monotheism, but they were henotheists,
Dribble.
what does that tell
Listen
you?
to me. Dribble. When did the prophets come? Distinctive, and that they were written at different times. That has changed a little bit. It's more like
Shut the fuck
three
up,
sources
Scott.
now, but it goes into like when certain books of the
Oh, yeah.
Bible were likely
Arminius,
authored and written and
Arminius.
edited and changed.
Are
And
we
it's very
Minions?
well believe that Deuteronomy had a lot of changes in it that was put into place during the time of King Josiah's reign, with the discovery of what's called the Deuteronomy scroll in the temple.
Calvin.
This is not controversial, right? Like, just look up the documentary.
But it is controversial, though. You say things like it's not controversial.
It's not controversial among biblical scholars.
I know I can't talk
the documentary
shit because my name is
hypothesis.
Goku.
Atheist biblical scholars.
What was that?
Atheist biblical scholars.
No. Who do you think the SBL is?
How is bro?
You know what the one of the official versions of the Catholic Bible is the NRSV. Is the NRS Catholic Edition, NRSV. Who do you think authored that? Translated
So
it was literally the SBL.
So the Christian biblical scholars completely agree
many
with
of
what
them.
you're saying.
Whoever works
many of them.
All right, but many of them, but it's not. So you're saying that many of them do, but not all of them. So there is a controversy.
We're listening to somebody talk.
Okay. So anyway, do you have any evidence that there was Rangers? Do you have any evidence that contradicts what I'm saying? That there were prohibitions.
I looked it up on AI, and it says scholars debate whether prohibitions against Asherah worship existed before King Josiah. So it seems like this is also a debate, and it's controversial.
Okay. What are the sources for that?
Okay. One of it is biblical textual evidence. So if we
give me the source. What's the source?
Let's see. It says, one source says learnreligions.com,
learnreligions.com. That's your primary source.
Worldhistory.org.
Well, to be fair, a moment ago you told Rural to Google something to confirm what you were saying.
Yeah, you did say that. It was actually the exact question. When was the first prohibition of Asherah worship?
You said to search it.
You did.
I searched it.
Because you guys don't seem to want to actually look at any primary sources on this stuff. That's fine.
All right, I searched it, and this is what it says, that there's a debate about this.
So,
Goku, do you have a question?
But when you say sources, are you looking? You want to hear scholarly
Come over here.
sources?
I'll talk to you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
In the circle, bro.
Yeah, we could do that too. Sure.
So, but here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that there is a changing theological doctrine over time. Like when you look at the archaeology, the anthropology, and even the religious texts themselves, there's all this evidence to support that this wasn't one unified 5 books of Moses in the 10th century that was written. That's poo-poo. That's nonsense. There's not evidence for that.
I mean, I'm checking right now. It says Moses was around 1500 to 1200 BC.
That was a living doctrine that changed over time, and that's what our evidence supports. Do you know the oldest fragment we have of the Old Testament it's the Nash Papyrus. Do you know it's a tiny little fragment that, guess what? It doesn't go back to 1000 BCE or 1200 BCE.
Well, yeah, that's not evidence that there wasn't something back then. It's just
but the point is that we have to look at the sources that we actually have. And
well,
when I brought up
we look at what we have, but
the dating, guys, the dating on Pithos A. What was the dating on Pithos A for those who looked it up?
Was it what I said it was? It was like 800 BC.
800.
Right, which is older, way older than any fragment we have for the Bible. It's hundreds of years older.
Sure. I mean, we do have inscriptions
that's not evidence
also.
that the Bible doesn't actually date to back then in the form that we have it.
Exactly.
What was that?
That's not evidence that the Bible doesn't date to before 800 BC in the form that we have it.
Agreed.
We don't have any like the oldest
but that's not evidence.
Is the Dead Sea
You're
Scrolls.
making an argument for
just because it doesn't go that far back.
I'm making an argument
evidence.
based upon the sources that we have.
No, you're making an argument for silence.
You're presupposing uniformity.
The
Bible. The Bible is replete with contradictions.
I have a real question though,
and this explains
even if I grant that, it still doesn't go with what you're saying.
Yeah,
Jessica, I have a real question. If you can hear me, please. I just want to get a simple answer. You brought up was it the documentary hypothesis?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know because I want to look into that.
Sure. You know what? If you want to read up on this, if you get a good study Bible, any good study Bible, you can get the Oxford Study Bible, the Westminster Study Bible, the SBL Study Bible. They have essays that talk about all this stuff. This is like the documentary hypothesis is the foundation of like modern Old Testament theory on where it came from.
Yeah, I'll look into it,
right?
like for sure.
Hey, Goku, you don't realize it, but the majority of people in here have you blocked right now. That's what
because we have like more information.
Because you're being rude.
You're literally standing inside of somebody that we're listening to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see that. By the way, you can see it in literally in the Bible. There's evidence of this.
Okay, so here,
like when you
it
talk
did the search,
in
right?
2 Kings 3, when this explains 2 Kings 3. You don't have to just look. You can also look at other sources like the Meshasteli to verify this. Like, do you know what happened in 2 Kings 3? Do you guys remember? 2 Kings 3 was where the combined forces of north and southern Israel teamed up with Edom, and they went to go attack the vassal state of Moab because it used to be giving one of their vassal states, and they went away from them. So they formed a unified army, and they traveled over to Moab, and in order to take it back. And they conferred with Elisha, who is the acolyte of Elijah after Elijah had ascended into heaven on a chariot in flames. And Elisha, he gave them a prophecy from God that said, you're going to be completely successful. Every tree, every stone you're going to turn over, the wadi will be full of water. Your armies will be nourished. You will defeat all, and you will take every city in Moab, right? You will take every, and they will have a victory. And he promised this. Guess what happened? All of that happened except the very last sentence. The king of Moab at Kir Hareseth tries to break free. He's unable to do that with his swordsman. And the very last sentence says that, so what he did was he went onto the walls. He went onto the walls and he sacrificed his firstborn son, right? All right. And guess what happened after that? A great wrath fell upon Israel and they had to retreat and they were defeated. What? Who is this guy talking to? I don't know, but I can't hear this person. Yeah. What this has to do with is that there was other gods, and that the Moabs worshiped a god called Hamash, right? And there's even an acknowledgement in the Bible, of a great divine wrath defeating or pushing away Israel, even after Elijah had promised victory. It didn't come true. But that's not what this says about.
Dude, just turn them down, Jason, because now,
dude, Jason, we can all hear you yelling at this person, but we can't hear the person. Okay. Anyway, the point is that a lot of them believed in multiple gods, and that changed over time, especially after the exile period. There was a all
right, I gotta block you now.
Okay, I gotta block Jason the Kid. Yeah, he's a. Oh wow. Anyway,
based on what I'm seeing,
so
I
am not saying which is true, which is correct. I'm simply saying there is a changing doctrine over time. That's what the evidence indicates. We don't know. We can't take a time machine back. If we could and interview people in the 10th century and the 9th century,
you can say retard because you're retarded.
Right? That's the point. So, and when you look at what people point out is contradictions in the Bible, the documentary hypothesis and all this doctrine explains why there would be differences. This is why when you look at Revelations 21 and Isaiah 65, there's differences in the end times, in the eschatology of what's going to happen in the end. Or when you say, when you compare the New Testament versus the Old, they don't match up. Because the Old Testament says the laws are forever, you have to follow them, and in Jeremiah, you see Jeremiah 31, Jeremiah 33, Ezekiel 44, all these prescriptions about the Messianic age, what's going to happen. That's not what Jesus does. Jesus doesn't fulfill any Old Testament Messianic prophecies.
Yes, he does. He fulfills the Daniel 9 prophecy.
He fulfills many.
Which one? Which one did he fulfill?
Daniel 9, for example.
The Daniel 9 prophecy.
Oh, like a son of man coming on the clouds?
Nope, that's Daniel
that's
7,
not
14.
Daniel 9.
Okay, tell me what did he fulfill in Daniel 9?
Daniel 9 is the prophecy about the arrival of the Messiah that predicts that he's
like a son of man coming on the clouds.
No, Jessica, you keep jumping. No, it's not. Okay. Daniel 9. That's Daniel 7:14.
Rangos. So tell me who the Messiah was. Tell me who the Messiah was.
Jessica,
the line of David.
Jessica, I think we know you think you know everything. We're not talking about Daniel 7. You're talking about Daniel 7. We're not talking about Daniel 7. We're talking about Daniel 9.
So.
Yeah, if all you want to do is be combative, then all right, we can just end the discussion here. But I'm talking about Daniel 9.
Rangos. Okay, so tell me, what was the Messianic bloodline?
Yeah,
Well, that was not his question.
the messianic bloodline comes from David, but that's not what I was presenting.
David, I understand, but I'm asking you though,
Jessica,
if he's the messianic, if he's messianic, dude, you gotta let me
No, that's
No,
not
you asked him for a prophecy, and he's trying to respond.
You said it doesn't fulfill any prophecies. I'm trying to give you one, and you don't want to hear
tell me which one. Tell me which one it is.
The Daniel 9.
The Daniel 9 prophecy predicts that the Messiah is going to arrive in the 1st century AD to the year exactly, and that at the end,
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Even we have
does not predict that. Do you
even
know
we
the time
have
frame on this?
we even have manuscripts.
Time out.
Jessica,
no, you're wrong. Your time frame is off by hundreds of years.
No, it's not.
You're talking about. Wait, Rangos. Before you laugh and interrupt, listen. Do you know what's going on in terms of
God is real?
What Daniel's doing?
I think
It's
you're
a
a girl.
reinterpretation of things in Jeremiah. It's the time frame is wrong. Right?
What do you
Do you know what I'm referring to?
So what is the time frame? So what is the time frame,
Are
Jessica?
you
Are you
one of those transgender things?
About
Are you one of those
70
transgender people?
and then the 7 times 70. So you get
So what is the true time frame according to you? What's the true time frame?
490.
You're a nigger.
There's too many people. There's too many people. I can't do.
What is the true time frame according to you, then?
Come back over.
Let's block people. So there's a lot of here. Hang on a second. Let me bring it up.
Are you transgender?
Who is that?
Yeah. So
Yo, shut the fuck up. You're not a tough 13-year-old girl, bro. Shut the fuck up.
Daniel 9:2 is a retconning of Jeremiah 31. You have to look at Jeremiah 31.
You can't retcon something that happens many years in advance.
I can't hear you. So Jeremiah, do you know what I'm referring to in Jeremiah 31? Jeremiah 9:2 is a retcon.
That's talking about the 70 years in exile, right?
Yeah. Do you know why he's doing that? Do you know what Daniel's actually talking about in Daniel 2?
I'm talking about Daniel 9.
He's talking about
Daniel 9:2. In Daniel 9:2. It's Daniel 9:2.
All right. What's he talking about? He's talking about the return to Israel, right?
Do you know?
We're not talking about that Daniel 9:2 though. We're talking about
he was concerned about the 70 years in Isaiah and that the time was coming to an end, and he wanted to know, okay, is the time is nearing, and I'm seeing no progress here. He prays, and then he receives a vision from the angel.
Yeah.
So it's a reinterpretation of.
Yeah, he fulfills the first era of the Messiah, which ends in defeat. Which the Jews also
what
believe
era
in.
is that? What era is that? Dude, don't say the Jews believe this. I was literally like,
yes,
I
they
went to
do.
Hebrew School, I was Jewish.
Yes, they do.
I literally spoke with
scroll
Jews who believe this.
from about 200 BC
Okay,
that
so that's
interprets
a
Daniel 9
primary source.
exactly like this.
Some of them were co-workers.
That's not a primary. That's not a primary source. A primary source. Oh, you're saying a primary source is a Jew who says something today? That's a primary source for this?
No.
You're kidding,
I'm
right?
talking about this is a mainstream.
A Jew that's alive now is a primary source for what they believed
I'm
at the
talking
time?
about mainstream Jewish belief.
No, a biblical scholar told me, dude.
No, hold on a second. This is not a mainstream biblical belief that Jesus is a fulfillment of a messianic prophecy.
No.
You're
I
kidding,
didn't say
right?
that. I said this is mainstream Jewish belief that there are two eras of the Messiah, or that there will be two messianic figures.
You said that and you said they're Jews who believe that he fulfilled the first one.
I'm saying that I believe that Jesus fulfilled one of these messianic eras, the messianic era ending in defeat, which Jews already believe that there's a messianic era ending in defeat.
In Zechariah 9:9, 9:10, did he fulfill that? Did he do Micah 5:2? Did he do like Ezekiel 36 or 37? Did he do any of those things?
I think Micah 5:2 would be the "Behold, I send my messenger."
All I have to say is that Jesus fulfilled some of the messianic prophecies. It doesn't have to be all. The Daniel 9 is one of them.
No, he didn't fulfill that.
Yes, he did.
How did he fulfill that?
Because the messianic prophecy from the time of the decree to restore there will be 483 years until the Messiah arrives, and Jesus arrives right on time.
Rangos, you really need to read up on the actual timing.
I got my name.
It doesn't add up to Jesus.
No, we have read up on the timeline. And second, we do have the Melchizedek scroll.
I was going to call it. I was going to call myself
a fulfillment by Jesus.
Because
for example,
Jesus is
Jessica,
the only figure that actually matches up and lines up at that time. And
how does the destruction of the temple? How does Jesus like is responsible for that in terms of being a fulfillment of a messianic prophecy.
Right?
Well,
Can you hear me?
Jesus' death is before the destruction of the temple.
Yeah, we can do.
Wait, Rengos. Wait. It says that the Messiah is going to die and then the temple is going to be destroyed. That's the messianic prophecy in Daniel, huh?
Yeah. No. It also tells you the timeline of when the Messiah will die.
Do you realize what you're saying?
It also tells you when the Messiah will die.
I think he froze. Anyway. Yeah. No, there's no messianic prophecies fulfilled by Jesus. That's the point.
No, there are. For example, like even the Melchizedek scroll and the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is
cool.
a rabbinic interpretation of Daniel 9, interprets it to be the 490 years that the Messiah will come and be cut off, executed, and that the second temple will be destroyed. Wait, are you gonna monologue or are you gonna let me talk?
He's ChatGPTing it right now.
Okay. Anyways. If you go to the Melchizedek scroll, which was around, I think, 100 to 200 BC.
I'm reading the Bible. Livewire. I'm reading the Bible.
Biblical scholars?
Okay. Anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah, whatever.
For Daniel 9, we have rabbinic interpretation that predates Jesus' birth. Will be around 200 BC. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 200, 180 BC. And they interpret this to be the 490-year timeline we Christians interpret as well, saying that this will be, after 490 years of the issuance to decree to restore and rebuild Jerusalem, the Messiah will come and be executed. And that after the Messiah is executed, the second temple will be destroyed. The sanctuary of Jerusalem will be destroyed. So that is fulfilled, and it's not a Christian-only interpretation. Jews believed this too beforehand, until Christ came and they rejected him. So, and you can find later on it says, "Blessed be the bones of those who calculate the Daniel 9 prophecy." So if they don't want you to calculate it because it comes out to Christ, it's not gonna respond, right? He's just gonna read whatever he wants. Is he frozen?
No, he's here. I think he's reading something.
What's up?
Jessica froze now.
No, he's
just reading.
But I mean, I'm just trying to explain that the Daniel 9 prophecy, the Daniel 9 prophecy.
Oh, okay.
The Daniel 9 prophecy. Can you hear me, Jessica?
Can you hear Dribble? Jessica?
I can't hear anyone.
Jessica, can you hear Dribble?
Can nobody hear anyone?
Dribble?
I can hear you, Rangos. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear Dribble or Rangos. So like,
what about you? Can you hear me?
Wait, I see their remainder of their like avatars, but they're frozen.
He has to leave. Tell him to leave and rejoin.
Can you?
I don't.
Yeah, we might have to restart the room.
I think the room is broken. I can't.
Yeah,
frozen. There's a bunch of
tell him to leave and rejoin. Tell him.
Jessica, they said, "Can you come back? Leave and come back."
The timeline is I think it's like you're about 200 years off because I think it leads to Ananias the Third more than anything.
Okay, well, where do you calculate the timeline to? To what date?
No, he's saying it goes to Ananias, which would be like 500 something BC. So he's trying to say it's hundreds of years off. Like, why would you say it's Ananias rather than Artaxerxes II or first, whatever? I forgot his name.
Why would you say Artaxerxes?
Because it actually fulfills the criteria to rebuild and restore Jerusalem. To rebuild it, the walls, and to restore the society of Jerusalem.
Do you know what the Maccabean crisis was? Do you know what the Maccabean crisis was?
Yeah, I have like very little understanding. If you want to explain, go ahead. But
the temple already existed.
If you date it from the decree of Cyrus at 538 BC, right, or 586, depending on which one you're using, that leads you back to either about 170 or 164 during the Maccabean crisis. Well, listen, I don't know what the answer is. I don't.
Well, this is not the Maccabean crisis. This is the Babylonian exile, not the Maccabean crisis.
No, but I'm saying if you do the timeline, it leads up to the Maccabean crisis. If you do the,
why are you
400,
sniffing?
what is it, the 483,
Did I give you
whatever the
permission?
math is.
But
because it's
are
69.
you saying the
it's
Messiah
like 62
came?
weeks
Are you saying the
for the
Messiah
destruction,
came?
and then seven
came
additional, which would be.
So you're saying the
70
Messiah
Bible
came when the temple was destroyed in the Maccabean crisis?
No.
Well, this is what
I'm
it
saying, like,
prophesies, but with Artaxerxes
listen,
it works, and Artaxerxes fulfills this
Dribble. Do you know what
criteria.
Do you know what Messiah is? Do you know what Messiah is?
Messiah, the anointed one.
Yeah, it means.
Wait, what is this debate
anointed?
about? God is not real.
It doesn't mean it. Not according to what?
What does it mean? Like,
not according to the Bible. There is a specific Messiah figure.
Rangos.
Here in Daniel 9, it says the Messiah, the Prince. It's not just any Messiah. It literally says Messiah, the Prince.
The Prince. Do you know who the Prince is?
Messiah, the Prince.
Do you know what the name is?
Messiah, the
Prince.
Guys, listen.
God made you.
Messiah just means anointed. Have you read Isaiah 45? Isaiah 45. What does it say? Who is the fucking Messiah in Isaiah 45?
I believe it's Cyrus in that one, isn't it?
It's Cyrus. It just means anointed. It doesn't necessarily mean. It doesn't necessarily refer the terms Messiah to.
Then who
okay,
are the Jews?
So then, wait.
Jews
So is Cyrus the Messiah?
Wait,
is Cyrus the Messiah?
Jessica,
who worships Marduk?
Jessica,
you're so inconsistent, Rangos.
Wait.
You just double
waiting for
yourself.
All right, so you're being dishonest. Who are the Jews waiting for then?
Wait, excuse me. They're waiting for a messianic figure that's of David's bloodline through Solomon that's going to cut off their enemies when he arrives. And Jesus certainly never did that.
So that's not many, right? That's like one specific person.
That is one messianic prophecy. There are also.
Are you saying for every messianic prophecy it's a different Messiah?
The term Messiah, what I'm referring to is that.
Well, there you go. So
Daniel
there's a
9,
specific person that the Messiah is referring to in the Bible.
Daniel. Listen, guys. Oh my God. You know who the prince is that is named by Daniel? Do you know who that is? What's the name of the prince? Does it say Jesus?
Who's the name, Jessica?
Michael. You know who Michael is, Rangos? It's literally what Daniel says. Who the prince is?
Where does it say
prince?
That?
Oh my God, dude.
I don't think Daniel 9 mentions Michael. It mentions Gabriel.
Go to all and then go to debates. And then
Yeah, you go to literally the next chapter.
Okay.
These kids are going out and creating new names and come back in. I've had to block like 25 people.
Whenever you see anyone with 0 friends or less, just block them immediately.
There's a bunch of them that say new.
Yeah, anyone
which means
with 0
they just
friends,
left and
block
came
them.
back. Yeah.
Anyway,
big nut.
5 actually equals 12.
Sure.
So Rangos, if the position is Jesus one day fulfill all the prophecies, okay, cool.
There's 5.
Wait. I'm not talking about all the prophecies. You said he fulfilled none of them. I'm saying he definitively fulfilled one.
No, he didn't. That's not that.
He
He didn't fulfill that. You have not, guys. You just keep asserting it. How did he fulfill
you
it?
keep asserting.
How did Jesus fulfill?
Because
how
even
did
according,
Jesus?
Because even according to Jewish interpretation, the era of the Messiah was supposed to be here by the
keep saying the same kind of
Okay,
thing.
Jessica, it's very simple.
so
The timeline states 490 years from the issuance of the decree to rebuild and restore Jerusalem. Artaxerxes in 445 is the one who issues this decree. Through the 490 years, what happens? He gets 33 AD. He fulfills it. He gets cut off in 33 AD. Palm Sunday, and then the second temple is destroyed. The sanctuary of Jerusalem is destroyed.
I understand where you're getting this from, and I disagree because I think it comes from the decree of Cyrus.
Why?
That makes much more sense because in the context of Jeremiah.
But Jeremiah is not talking about the Messiah coming. He's talking about the Babylon exile's length.
Why is this kid so annoying?
Dribble. Oh my God.
You don't gotta keep saying dribble and then not respond. Like Jeremiah is talking about a different thing.
Dribble. Where do you think he's getting it from? He's referring to Jeremiah. Holy shit! What do you think that Daniel's talking about?
He got this from Gabriel too.
He's getting it from Jeremiah.
Yeah, he also got this from Gabriel.
He literally says it.
He got it from the angel Gabriel.
He got it from the angel Gabriel.
Dude, you guys got to.
The 70 years came from Jeremiah, sure, yeah, because Daniel 9:2 says that he read this from the book
Cyrus's
of the prophet
decree
of
is
Jeremiah.
not about
and he's
restoring.
like, well, it hasn't happened yet. We got to rethink this.
Yeah.
No.
This is why
no.
Cyrus's decree. Okay, this is why Cyrus's decree doesn't make sense. Cyrus's decree is talking about the restoration of the temple, but Daniel 9 says the restoration of Jerusalem will be the decree.
And to rebuild Jerusalem.
Artaxerxes' decree is not focused on the temple; it's focused on Jerusalem, which is why
I love, like,
Artaxerxes'
I'm literally arguing with people looking up apologetics websites in
I'm not looking at
we're not looking at any apologetics sites. We're looking at literally Daniel 9.
Of Cyrus. You're here talking about why that one makes more sense, but that one literally, according to the text, makes less sense.
You realize that the
Jessica, there's a criteria that the issuance,
don't even match
the
up?
decree,
but they
the
do.
decree has to fulfill the two criteria to rebuild and restore Jerusalem. It has to restore Jerusalem as a city and to rebuild Jerusalem. So where does Cyrus fulfill these both criteria?
The Babylonian calendar that they used at the time.
Are you using a solar year? Are you using a prophetic year?
The Babylonian calendar that they used at the time, it also matches up with the prophetic calendar, the 360-day year.
Yeah.
The Babylonians,
you're off by about 5 days.
Yeah, the Babylonians,
the solar years would be 5 days difference.
Yeah, but that's not the calendar that the Babylonians used.
Yeah.
They used a year of either 353, 354, or 357. It varied, but for administrative purposes, they used the 360-day year themselves.
The prophetic lunar conversion.
No, for administrative purposes, for schematic things, they used 360 days. The Babylonians.
That was the Babylonians. So both the Jewish,
that was the prophetic lunar conversion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're saying. That's
in the Bible there was a 360 prophetic year, and the Babylonians also used a 360 administrative year. So there's no evidence for a 365-day year like what you're talking about. That will be retroactively applying our calendar.
No. That's if you're going to Ezra, like.
No, I'm not talking about Ezra. I'm talking about Daniel. I'm talking about Daniel 9.
Ezra wasn't
Dude,
in Babylon.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! What do you think I'm talking about when I said Ezra just now? Rangos, you think I was referring to a writing in Ezra? I'm talking about the time frames.
Okay, what time frame in Ezra? What time frame in Ezra are you talking about?
As in Nehemiah versus Ezra.
Okay.
As in 444.
What timeline? What timeline?
Instead of 457.
Say that again.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, 457 was a different decree, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that decree I don't think makes as much sense.
The one that makes the most sense is the one from 444.
Because it's not talking about
because it doesn't add up to your presupposed assumption.
No, because it doesn't. It doesn't actually fulfill the criteria Daniel 9 provides.
You have presuppositions that you're fighting so stubbornly against.
Rangos.
Is not talking
Here's the thing. I don't have any presuppositions because I think they're all mythology. I think.
Do you presuppose that a God does not exist?
Rangos, tell me something. If you believe, hold on a second, time out.
Wait,
Rangos,
Jessica, you switched from Cyrus' decree to the 457 decree. These are
I'm not
decrees.
switching. I'm pointing out that there are different models to look at this.
That's our point.
All right, every model.
I'm not saying, guys.
Every
I
model
think,
except
guys,
the one that points to
Rangos,
Jesus.
you don't seem to get the concept. I don't think any of this is true. It's all mythology.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think.
I don't care what you think.
So you're saying one particular interpretation gives you one fulfillment of a messianic prophecy, which it's not. I don't even think I don't think that Daniel 9 is even a messianic prophecy in this context.
That's
the messianic prophecy.
It says Messiah the Prince in the prophecy. It literally says Messiah the Prince in the prophecy. This guy's nuts.
Guys, if that's the case, then if you're going to say that just the term Messiah in that, this is why I brought
Look right here.
Cyrus
Let me read it
earlier.
to you.
Dribble. Let me finish my point.
Then
the reason I brought up,
words don't matter anymore.
Yeah, words
oh
don't
my
matter.
God, you guys are so disingenuous. I brought this up because
Jessica, you're being
in Isaiah
ridiculous.
45,
This
in Isaiah 45, does it use the term Messiah? And does that refer to? And then you guys
then
pivoted.
I asked
you
you,
bent
who are
around
the Jews
it.
waiting for?
You
Are the
bent
Jews waiting
around
for a
it.
Messiah
You're
or not?
dipping and dodging again, Rangos. Rangos, my point is this:
so the Jews aren't waiting for Messiah, then.
the term Messiah, it means anointed. It doesn't necessarily mean.
Then.
Dude, you are so disingenuous, Rangos.
No, you are.
Listen, go to my point. Do you understand my point? Rangos, stop interrupting me and listen to my point and answer it directly.
Rangos,
Rangos, I never said that. I never claimed that.
The Bible is actually talking
did I
about
make
a
the claim?
specific figure
Rangos,
about a Messiah
Rangos, I want to point out, everybody who's listening, you just said I made the claim that the Jews are not waiting for Messiah. When did I say that?
No, I'm asking you to see if you're being honest.
I never said anything. Of course they are. They're waiting for a Messiah.
All right.
So
then
so
the Bible
Rangos,
is talking about a specific messianic figure that the Jews are waiting for.
God
today.
damn! You know what? Forget
and
it. You're,
Daniel 9
Rangos, if you're not going to let me, if you're not going to let me finish, I can just talk over top of you.
You're the one
monologuing.
monologuing. You're the one monologuing.
Listen, Rangos, my point is that the term Messiah, and you're using we see it in various different texts, and from the context you can understand whether it's referring to this messianic figure or not. And things such as when you see it used in certain passages, you use the context to make determinations about whether it's referring to a certain figure or a certain priest or a certain king. You use the context. When you see it in passages such as in Isaiah 45, it uses anointed. And
okay,
it's
let me
actually
ask this.
it fits more of a messianic fulfillment.
Let me ask this.
Daniel 9 does.
Let me ask something,
because literally, like what you see Cyrus does is a hell of a lot more of a messianic fulfillment because he's coming in and freeing them, cutting off their enemies. He actually did that.
Just then, let me ask this.
Answer that
would
first.
A messianic...
Don't pivot away. Answer that first. Did or did not, like when you look at how he's represented.
Dude, who just said God's not real?
Hold on.
You need to be slaughtered, dude. I realize fucking.
Okay, so when you
follow Jesus Christ,
you believe
if
that his disciples are still walking around today. They're still alive. They're 2,000 years old.
Why is it they got pigtails?
Whoever believes in Jesus Christ will not see death, but they will have everlasting life.
Come on, you can't be serious, dude. Like you actually think that they're still alive?
No, not in that sense, obviously.
It's not obvious because that's what he said.
But they are alive. Yes, they are alive.
Like, if this is so convincing, why did the Jews not believe this? Right? Why didn't the Jews just turn around and be like, "Oh, you're the Messiah"? Right?
Because they were all looking for some warrior to come and fight their enemies.
They did at first. They did at first.
The prophets.
They did at first.
He showed up and said, "Pray for your enemies and forgive your enemies."
So when guys, check this out.
There are still Jews today that actually convert once they see the Messianic prophecies.
In Matthew 10, when he says, "When they persecute you in this town,"
a very small few of them, yes, but
in Matthew 10,
who aren't being obstinate, like Jessica is
in Matthew 10, when he says, "When they persecute you in this town, flee to the next. For truly I tell you, you will not have finished going through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes." That was a lie.
Hold on. What Matthew 10? What Matthew 10?
Are they still running?
Matthew 10.
Are those Christians still? Matthew 10:23. Are those Christians still running back and forth between the towns since he said that? This is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. You cannot believe this. You actually think that they're being persecuted and running back to town over 2,000 years. Because that's what has to be the case. It's Matthew 10:23. When they persecute you in this town, flee to the next, for truly I tell you, you will not have finished going through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. And
the Son of Man did return.
No, he didn't. Wait, are you a preterist? You're a preterist?
He did return. He did return.
Are you a full preterist?
He did return.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Wait, do you know
what do you think? What do you think?
So wait,
what do you think happened?
I'll tell you.
What do you think happened when he resurrected?
Dribble. No, the resurrection is not the coming of the Son of Man.
Wait, the Son of Man did not return? The Son of Man did not return at the resurrection?
Okay, if you're not going to interrupt me, I'll answer you. In Matthew 24,
did the Son of Man not return at the resurrection?
In Matthew 24, 29 to 34, he tells you what it's going to be. The coming of the Son of Man. Immediately after the suffering of those days, the sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven. I don't think that's happened yet. And the powers of heaven will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and all the tribes of earth will mourn. And they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven.
Yeah, that'll be
it's the same language.
Son of Man.
He literally uses the same language. The Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven.
That's the
and he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call. This hasn't happened. This is the parousia.
This is the apocalyptic Son of Man.
This is the parousia. This is the second coming.
Yeah, this is not the second coming necessarily.
So when in Matthew in 10:23, that's what he's referring to.
Not necessarily. This can also be referring to believers in general. This doesn't necessarily mean the disciples alone.
Wait, the coming of the Son. Wait, the Son of Man coming is what?
No, I'm saying, but whenever they persecute
Guys, I'm
you
being
in the
consistent
city,
with Jesus'
flee
own
to the
words.
next. Listen, whenever they persecute you in the city, flee to the next. For sure, I say to you, you'll not finish going to the city of Israel until the Son of Man comes. First of all, the Son of Man did return, and second, this can be a general statement for all believers.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
Did you
that
read
does.
Matthew 24? Guys, if you're not going to you're going to ignore literally what Jesus says in a later chapter about this.
The verse you bring up.
So again, okay, ready? The coming of the Son of Man, right? It's literally the header, the descriptive header in your Bible probably says that.
Your Bible
He talks about it.
No,
listen. He says, and they will see the Son of Man coming on.
Atheist.
Coming on. Okay. The Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. He will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call. Can we agree this hasn't happened yet?
What are you doing?
No, this does not happen yet.
Okay,
that would be
it
the
hasn't
Daniel
happened
7
yet.
prophecy.
So the stars will fall from heaven.
Yeah, this hasn't happened yet.
Right. Okay, great. This hasn't happened yet. So when he says in Matthew 16,
Dude, you're not gonna get
where he says 27 to 28, truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Why are you a female?
The second coming. The second coming. So in other words, they're still alive today. They didn't taste death. They never died.
You said Matthew 16, 27?
Yeah, Matthew 16, 27 to 28.
I remember reading scholarly consensus about this, that it was in reference to the second temple destruction, where they would get
Where did you get that
persecuted. You said Matthew
that's the
10,
scholarly
16,
consensus.
27.
You're
That's
kidding,
not
right?
the verse you just
According
said.
to what?
I'm talking about
Genesis?
some of you will not taste death. Where is that?
Oh, that's Matthew 16, 27 to 28.
Okay. Matthew 16, 27 to 28.
He literally says the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father. It's the prior sentence. That's where he's referring to about the tasting of death, that's going to happen before some of the people he's speaking to at the moment die. He's promising that the generation that he's talking to, all this stuff will come to pass. And you know why this is further supported? Because Paul believed it. You can see their passages and their writings. They all believed it was imminent. They didn't know the day or the hour. Only the Father knew the day or the hour, right? Which is a whole problem for Trinitarianism. If you believe that he shares all the qualities of God, then he's not omniscient.
Well, no, because Jesus also has a name that no one else knows.
Yeah.
That's cute. So, in any case,
that's actually Revelation 19.
Literally
so
in the same chapter,
Yeah.
he tells him that he knows.
Speaking of Revelation is when John actually saw the vision of the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So even that will be fulfilled in John. Who actually saw
some of them. Is some a singular or multiple?
Well,
language
have John
matters.
All right, then we have at least one.
And wait, hold on, wait. Are you referring to the tribulation? What are you referring to? What are you referring to? Are you referring to the tribulation?
I'm referring to John having the vision where he saw Jesus Christ coming in his glory as the Son of Man.
That is true.
Wait. When he saw, what did he see specifically?
He saw Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he saw the apocalyptic Son of Man.
Yeah.
What did he do? What did Jesus do?
He saw many visions of Jesus Christ.
In Revelation.
And what did he do in the vision?
For example,
he came back to wage war.
Yeah. The word of God dipped whose robe was dipped in blood.
Fire.
His name written on him. No one else knew except himself.
He came back to wage war on the Antichrist.
So check this out.
And establish the kingdom.
When you see in 1 Corinthians 7:29 to 31, right? I mean, brothers and sisters, the anointed time has grown short. From now on, let even those who have wives be as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as no possessions. For the present form of this world is passing away. Do you think that the heaven and earth have passed away?
They're passing away.
They're passing away.
Oh, so they're
it doesn't say passed away.
fucking years for this to happen.
Passing away.
Well, yeah.
It actually is taking 2,000 years for this to pass away.
You're a Christian.
Heaven and earth will pass away.
Yes,
but you'll.
That's one. Have you ever heard of that?
This is very simple. I mean, Hebrews 1:10 talks about this.
They went up the mountain as opposed to coming down on the clouds, or two.
Jessica, then Hebrews 1:10 to 12.
And there's no casting of judgments.
Jessica, then Hebrews 1:10 to 12 answers this question of heaven and earth passing away. Heaven and earth will pass away. But your verse also says passing. It doesn't say passed away.
It doesn't say that.
This is such a carp. This
So-
is such a carp.
I know.
Really?
This is a known
Okay,
truth.
here's another
This is a
one.
known
Okay,
truth
guys,
that
check
heaven
this
and
out.
earth will
So
pass away. So it's a
in
truth.
1 John, so when it says 1 John 2:18, open that up. Children, it is the last hour. As you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. From this we know that it is the last hour. So it was the last hour 16 million fucking hours ago.
Do you think it's talking about the exact hour? Do you mean literal hour?
That was John. That was in first.
Wait,
that
so
was first
when
John
when
2:18.
Jesus when John wrote that no one knows the day and the hour except the
But he said,
except the Father.
so when he said,
Are
from
you
this we
saying
know
now
that it
John
is the
just
last
completely
hour?
changed his mind and said I know?
I don't
the
know.
hour?
I didn't write the words. John did. So you tell me,
No,
what
I'm
does
saying
it mean when
because
he
this
says
is obviously
this is the last hour?
misrepresentation of what John's trying to describe and convey.
Oh,
He's
is
not
it-
claiming
what-
to know the
what's
hour.
all right, so tell me, what is the proper translation of the Koine Greek for this passage, since you know
No,
it better?
the word can be hour, but that's not the message he's conveying. Because he even
That's not
tells
the-
you
the-
who
so
the
words don't mean
Antichrist
words.
is. He tells you who the
The words
Antichrist is.
don't mean words.
Those who reject the Father and the Son. This is the Antichrist.
This is a cope. You're just coping because he never showed
No,
up.
I'm just telling you what John is
you're
telling you
also the
himself.
one claiming words don't mean words because we know that the Messiah is someone that the Jews are waiting for, and when it says the Messiah,
I
you're
never
saying
said
that,
it
it's
wasn't
actually
though
not.
someone is waiting for.
All right,
Dude, Rangos,
so-
Rangos. Until you engage with my point about Cyrus and Messiah, we're done. You can't
we
just
already
ignore
engaged
that.
with that. I think we already engaged with that because Daniel 9 is very Rangos.
You obviously don't want to engage with that one.
No, but Rangos, Daniel 9 is very specific who that figure is. He can be someone like Cyrus, but Daniel 9 tells you that he'll finish the transgression and make an end of sin. What messianic figure will put an end to sin metaphysically, spiritually?
Are you guys
and make
familiar
atonement
with
for
like,
iniquity?
the didact?
Which Messiah?
Are you guys familiar with like Second Clement or the didact or First Clement, the writings in those? Like it was around like 96 CE, so this was like 60
I know who
years
Clement
later.
is. I know who Clement of Rome is, but Jessica, then you're kind of avoiding the question. You're claiming this
Soon
could be a
and suddenly shall his will be accomplished.
Let me finish. I don't want to hear a
Speedily he will
monologue. I
come.
want to respond to you.
Speedily
you made the
he
claim.
will come and will not
You made
tarry.
the claim. You want
They
a
even
response to
believe
the
this 60
Cyrus.
years afterwards.
No,
They
you
even
want to make
believe
a
this 60 years after that he will not tarry. So it's now
Jessica.
2,000 years later. Is he tarrying by now, guys? Is that speedily
so
he's
I'm
coming?
gonna respond to your question now. Your question was, how can this not be a general messianic anointed figure like Cyrus? Well, what generic anointed figure?
Yeah, you don't want to deal with the
finishes
prophecy because it proves you
finishes
wrong.
transgression, puts an end to sin, makes an atonement
right.
for iniquity, and brings everlasting righteousness to seal up vision and
You
prophecy.
guys are-
What
you guys are-
messianic
this
figure
is-
like
this is
Cyrus will do
ridiculous.
this?
Yeah, like you literally are just ignoring every point.
You just
you're
ignored
honing
what I
in-
told you.
And you're ignoring the
like,
prophecy.
Dribble. I told you the timeline. I don't think makes sense.
does.
It doesn't add up.
It does make sense,
and I'll
but
say this,
you
and
don't
Dribble,
think.
guys,
You don't think.
You guys don't even understand that. I don't think
you don't
Daniel.
Think, you don't know, but
guys,
you're
I don't
uncertain
think-
when you actually do the
I
calculations
don't-
properly.
guys,
it perfectly lines up.
Okay,
you just don't want to
Dribble.
look at it
Here's
properly.
the point.
I
that
won't respond
I don't
until you
even
respond
believe
to my
any of
point.
this
I
is
responded to your
real.
point, but you won't give
I
a
don't
response.
believe any of this is
Yeah,
real.
so
I
stop
believe
being
that
so
the
obtuse
authorship
about
of these things,
Yeah.
that
Okay, Jessica,
that Daniel
dude,
is actually not written
if you
when
don't
it was
know,
like, do you know,
or
in
if you don't,
regards
I
to
don't
when it
care
was
if you
written,
don't believe it. I don't care if you don't
you're
believe
making
That's
an assumption.
irrelevant
You're
for
saying
this
it has to be
prophecy
this
anyway.
point.
There are things
for it
you
to line up
believe
with
that I
Jesus,
disagree
and
with.
It doesn't
So
even
why
line up
does that matter?
properly according to the calendar.
It does line up properly.
Okay.
That,
All right,
that's
you guys aren't
you
gonna-
keep,
you
you
guys
keep
are not
moving the
gonna answer.
goalpost. You made an argument. You have to respond to the Cyrus
What
argument,
goalpost
Isaiah
have I-
45.
what-
What messianic figure, what anointed figure like Cyrus will put an end to transgression, make an end to sin, make atonement for iniquity, and bring everlasting righteousness to seal up vision and prophecy,
When
and
did
to
it
anoint the
happen?
holy of holies.
Dribble, when the fuck did that happen? It hasn't happened yet. He hasn't done it yet.
Christ did.
So
Christ
what's your
did do that.
point here?
Christ did do that.
Christ
he
did-
put
wait,
he
Christ-
finished the
wait, wait, wait,
transgression.
wait,
He finished the
time out, time out.
transgression, put an end
Christ
to
brought-
sin.
Right. So when you see that people
Of tribulation and stuff, yeah.
when you see people say, "Oh yeah, it's when he says, oh, it's finished," and that's a fulfillment of everything. It's so ridiculous. He didn't fulfill anything. None of those prophecies ended up
You
coming
don't
true.
believe Psalm 22 was fulfilled?
Oh, you want to talk about that?
You don't think that was fulfilled?
Are you gonna do it? I love talking about Psalm 22.
We can, but let's just stay
Sure.
on this topic
Sure.
before we
You,
go
you
there.
brought it up. You brought it
Sure,
up. For dogs
but
have
let's
encompassed
stay on
me, a
this
company of
topic.
evil
We can
doers
go
have
to Psalm
enclosed me.
22. Give me a second.
Wait. You just brought it up. like a lion, they're at my hands and feet.
That's the Masoretic text. The Septuagint doesn't say that.
The Septuagint.
The Masoretic
So why would
text
you
comes
use
from the 8th century AD. The Septuagint predates Christ, and it says that he's crucified.
Oh, no.
My hands
Dribble.
are pierced. It's
Dribble.
not lion. Like,
Dribble.
my hands are pierced. My hands and my feet are pierced.
Dribble. Are you gonna let me respond?
No, because
you
just use text that actually doesn't predate Christ to say that.
Tribble.
The Masoretic text comes from the 8th century AD.
Tribble.
The Septuagint predates Christ and says his hands and feet are pierced. I just refuted you.
You know what?
Like a lion, my hands and my feet. Where the hell did you get that from the Septuagint?
Even Saint Jerome threw away the
Dribble, not
Septuagint.
tribble.
Okay, so you're not going to let me talk.
I just refuted
He's
you.
allowing you to talk right now.
So you said what was your dating on the Masoretic text on when
The Masoretic text would be around 7th to 9th century. It's progressive. 7th to 9th century.
No.
AD.
When? Okay, so when was the translations of these relevant passages done for the Masoretic text? Do you know?
You could tell me, but all I'm saying is the Masoretic text, which dates to around 7th century, 8th century AD, says like a lion, my hands and my feet. But the Septuagint, which is nearly 300 years before Jesus was born, says,
will you shut up for a second? Let me finish a sentence. You just keep repeating your litany over and over again. Listen,
because it's going
there was
through 1 year and going out the other.
Okay, so you're not going to let me finish. Okay, we're done. Have a good life.
You're going to block me too? Coward.
He blocked you?
Yeah, he blocked me too. He's just running like a turtle. What the hell? He just used he used a text that comes 800 years after Jesus to disprove a text that comes 300 years before Jesus. That's like illogical. That's like an irrational argument.
What text did he use?
The Masoretic text. He says Psalm 22 is not a fulfilled prophecy because
the
the Masoretic text says, like a lion, my hands and my feet. But Septuagint, which is before Christ, says, my hands and my feet are pierced. But Masoretic says, like a lion, my hand and my feet. So he's saying that's not a fulfilled prophecy because the Masoretic text. And I'm like, dude, that's not the Septuagint. The Septuagint predates Christ.
And he was poured out like water when he had the spear in the side.
Yeah,
water poured out.
They cast lots for his garments. This is also Psalm 22. Like you said, the twisting out like water. Well, I mean, he didn't answer my argument for Daniel 9. He did not answer my argument for Psalm 22. He did not answer my argument.
He just says your name over and over
why
again.
Asherah is the wife.
When you're talking, you just says your name over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
It's so dumb. Did he block
you? You'd be surprised with the amount of things he knows that he ignores the Septuagint, knowing that the Masoretic scroll comes 800 years after Jesus. You'd be surprised. He's saying, look, we have a full entire Old Testament that predates Christ. Let's just throw that into the trash and take an 800-year-old Bible that comes from an Old Testament that comes after Jesus. And this is the authoritative standard. When you have a full Old Testament that predates him.
I think the bigger question
is... Now, that's cope. That's called cope. He was accusing us of cope, but that's cope. Rejecting earlier manuscripts.
You're like equivocating two situations anyway.
In order to make
I can see where he's coming from, though. He fancies himself as a woman, so he's probably got a lot of motivation to disprove things in the Bible and stuff, you know? I can see that.
Are you a man or a woman?
Right.
It's got to be conflicting. I feel bad for him.
Like I said, like Ringo's dude, he straight up has an entire and he knows the Septuagint. He has a codex that predates Christ by almost 300 years, an entire full Old Testament. Then he goes,
is that blessed mother?
We have one that is 800 years after Jesus. Which one do we take to see fulfillment of prophecy? We take the one after.
I gotta shoot off. Good.
He literally took two different dates to go with a period that doesn't line up with Jesus, and avoided
every time somebody asks you that. Just
I recorded the entire thing, bro.
How is that any? I mean, you believe that a virgin girl was impregnated by a ghost, and that feels like a different gender.
Go ahead and keep mocking.
But you
don't have any arguments except appeal to emotion. That's fallacy.
Fucking ghost.
It's an appeal to emotion.
What do you believe in there, T-Bone?
Please.
It's an appeal to emotion.
What do you believe in?
In accordance to what? I believe in a lot of things.
Okay, what's your worldview?
What's your religion? Yeah, what's your world?
What?
What's your worldview?
I don't have a religion.
No. What's your worldview? Not religion. What's your worldview?
What in my worldview? In what sense? What in what?
You don't know what a worldview
The world's
is?
a big thing. There's lots of topics. What do you mean worldview?
What are you? Are you an atheist? Are
how
you
we
a
got here?
naturalist?
I don't know
Are
how we
you,
got here. If
you
that's
know,
what you're.
Big Bang.
What is your
Dribble,
worldview?
dribble. You want to open up a room?
Yeah.
That
People
doesn't
wanna have,
explain.
If people want to
how-
have good faith conversations,
That does.
you
That
can go to my
explains a
room.
lot.
It doesn't explain the origin of. It doesn't.
What was here before the
How
Big
does
Bang?
it not? The Big Bang. You don't know what the Big Bang is. You don't know
I know what the
how
Big
Earth was
Bang
created.
is. The Big Bang doesn't
Anyway, I gotta
have anything to
Take care, guys.
anything to do with
It's a Big Bang,
abiogenesis.
Big Bang,
Big Bang.
You aren't very bright.
What was before the Big Bang?
Don't know. That's before the Planck time.
Nothing.
Do you think there was something or nothing?
Actually,
I don't know.
There has to
Okay.
be
That's a good
something.
question, right?
There you go. There
You
you
don't
go.
really know. I don't know, but just because
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't know
doesn't
if it's
mean
possibly
the Bible
nothing.
is
That's like
true.
crazy. That's
Just
crazy.
because you make up
but
something.
the
to
Bible
get-
is a
That's
belief.